Okay, now we have the makings of a very primitive house, and this tutorial is not to show off my lack of skills as an artist or a game creator. It's simply to show you what you can do with Megazeux. So don't mind that this is going to be extremely bad game design. Doesn't really matter. It's just to show you guys what you can do. So I'm going to press F3, bring up some more terrains, and I'm going to draw some lines. And that creates bars on a window. This is starting to look like a jail cell. Next, I'm going to draw a roof. And remember, you can hold down Alt and press the arrow keys to jump your cursor 10 spaces around the board at a time, which is a very handy way to move. So what do I want my roof to look like? So I'm going to do some more custom block. Let's see. I guess I'll try something else. We'll just do a solid roof. And solid is just all one color. I'm going to make my roof dark gray. There we go. Quit drawing and fill the rest of it in. Now I need to make a door. Let's make a custom block door. And let's select different characters. Let's see, what would look good for a door? I want to make something, I guess, that looks kind of wood. We'll try this. We'll do black background and a brown foreground. There we go. That looks kind of like wood. We can put a doorknob on it. Where's a doorknob? I guess that'll work as a doorknob. Alright. I really dislike the black background, so I'm going to fill it in with just green to make it look like grass. But I don't want to use custom blocks or solid because that is not something the player can walk through. I'm going to want to use one of these options down here. I'm not sure. I think fake is not something you can walk over. I think it tricks you. So carpet, floor, tile, and custom floor are all things that the player can walk over. I think web can also be walked over by the player, and it's just basically a background that gives the board more of an appearance. So let's go with custom floor. And what do we want for a texture for our grass? Something pleasing and not too ugly. I'm going to go with 2 shades of green. And that's okay. Now what if this was too bright? It is pretty neon looking. It doesn't really look like grass. If I wanted to make it look more like grass, I could change the colors. And as you can see here, I don't have any more colors to work with than these 16. But I can actually change the appearance of the colors to make to get whatever I need. So if you press Alt-E, you bring up the color menu, and you can change these colors with the keys shown below. So if I wanted to make the green darker, I could hold down Alt and press G. And as you can see over here, these are the values of red, green, and blue to generate this color. And green's going down, so it makes it darker. And let's make this other green darker as well. Looks a little bit more like grass. At least it's starting to be the right color. Now you'll notice when I move the player, I'm going to grab him by hitting insert and put him here. I've just placed him on top of the grass that I just laid down, and the space he was in has a black spot because when I filled the board with the grass block that I selected, it did not copy it underneath the player. It can't do that, so you're going to have to move the player and do it yourself. However, when I placed the player here, it placed him over the grass, so when he moves there won't be a black spot underneath him. Alright, if I want to make the door on this house lead to a different board, what I'm going to need to do is put an object here that changes boards when the player touches it. So if you press, see, page down to go to thing, if you notice F7 says transport, so if I press F7, I can select either stairs or cave. I'm going to use the cave object, and I'm going to have it lead to a new board, board 2. And as you can see, it's the right color, but the wrong character. And I'm going to change the character of the cave object so it looks like this door. So press G for global info, go to edit characters, and looks like character number 43 is stairs, 44 is cave. So if you click on that picture, you can change it to the same character that I made the door out of, and then hit done, and voila, we have an object that blends in with the door and will take the player to a different board when he touches it. So I'm going to go ahead and save this now and test it out. So save, test game, overwrite, and Alt-T to test. And there we go. We are on the new board, which I haven't put anything on, so there's nothing here and there's no way to get back. So I'll end the game now. Now, if I wanted to duplicate the look of this house, but make it from the inside, there's a fairly easy way to do that. I'm going to actually export this board and take it to the new board and use parts of it. So I'm going to go Alt-X, and that's going to export as, and I'm going to select board file, and I want to name it, so I'll just call it board. And I'm going to go to board 2 and press Alt-I to import the board file, and I have an exact duplicate of that other board, and it even changes the name. For some reason it put in title screen. Was I working on the title screen? Yeah, I was. Okay, well, I'll fix that in a minute. So let's change the name back to board 2 since it changed the name to title screen. Board 2. And we are going to, first of all, hollow out this house. So delete, insert, fill this in to remove it all. Alright, and I'm going to put the player inside here for now. You press F10, and F10 is objects. The player is an object, so you're going to select player, and that puts him inside the house. And I guess since I'm inside the house, technically you wouldn't be able to see the grass outside, so I'll go ahead and remove the grass too. So I hit delete, insert to grab space, and then F to fill that all in with black. Now I can have these these cave objects, they still lead me to board 2, so I'm going to have them lead me back to board 1. And I will actually, since I placed everything on the title screen, I'll actually move everything to board 1. So destination board is going to be board 1, and I need to remove and add the rest of these objects so that they all lead to board 1 as well. If I didn't do that, then they would lead to board 2. And when the player starts out on this board, he's going to be on top of one of these objects, and you don't want him to walk out into this black area that is outside the house. So I'm going to actually put some black custom blocks right here so that if the player presses down, he can't go down into this black area that's supposed to be outside of the house. And you can select any blank character, but you want to make sure it's a blank character that you're not going to go ahead and change later. I'll show you how to change characters at some point, but for now, let's just select character 0. Actually, select character 32. You're always going to want to leave character 32 as blank space. You're never going to want to change that to be anything else. You always need at least one blank space, and that's the one you're going to want to use. And right now it's brown, so I'm going to make it black. And as you can see, the color of the cursor is changing color as I'm placing the black blocks here. Now let's say I wanted to see if those actually got placed or not. There's an easy way to do that, and you would want to go to Show, and if you press page down, if you press Shift F4 will show all space. Let's see what that looks like. So it makes all the space on the board blink, and as you can see, the area that's not blinking right here is where I place the blocks. So since those blocks are there, they're not blinking. That shows that they're not space. Okay, I moved all of this info from title screen to board 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear the title screen. Alt-Z clears the entire board, and that's because I'm going to draw a title screen later, but right now I just want it to be black. I guess I should go ahead and name it title screen again. That way something shows up here. So now if I go ahead and test this again, it should work, and I should be able to transport back and forth between inside and outside of the house. There we go. And as a test, I should not be able to move down. I'm pressing the down arrow, and I can't move into that blackness there. All I can do is move up into the inside of the house. And of course, the rest of the door is custom blocks, so I can't move up when I'm out here either. So that works.